everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech Productions. Today, I bank RPG once again by Jimmy, Austin, and like always, Fluff.
Did you forget my name, bro?
Yeah.
Hello.
What up, you people?
And today's matchup is Jimmy versus Austin. Jimmy has brought us Towa from the newest set, and I just read Austin's name, has brought us Cooler from the newest set as well. Guys, there's buttons down below. Let's get into today's matchup. I can't talk.
Shit. Y'all hype for Overwatch 2?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
But
You see that new character?
there's a new character?
Wastelands. It's pretty much. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about it anymore.
I've been so hyped to finally get to play this. I got all my stuff in the middle of the week, and I've been testing this deck out since it was announced and all the cards were announced on Untap. Really enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun with it, and it's Cooler. And anyone who's watched channel knows that I love Cooler. So
Do you?
Yeah, a lot. He's my favorite.
You sure?
Yeah.
Can you confirm that?
I can.
All right.
But yeah, and I also have never played against Towa, so that was I didn't know what to expect from Towa, and I had asked Jimmy I think last week what Towa does, and he just says it plays tokens that act as a resource, and that's about it. It's okay, it just plays otherwise it just plays black good stuff.
Pretty much that's what the deck likes to do. Now that most of the black good stuff is just banned, we're kind of seeing black kind of taking a different direction. Instead of being super aggressive, which this deck can be, a lot of the more defensive toolboxy black cards are coming back, which I'm really hyped for because I love toolboxy decks. The one thing about Towa is specifically this build is kind of just like a smash up of all of my of all the builds that I've been testing, and I couldn't decide which one I wanted to build for the first week of playing, so I just kind of smashed them all together, and I'm going to refine this deck over time. But this particular build just really doesn't have a good turn one play, other than just putting Crisis Crusher out, which I knew that you didn't have BMS in your side or main deck. I was just like, I have one energy and nothing to do with it. I'll just slam a BMS or a Crisis Crusher. And it turned out it actually helped because you actually have a one drop, which I have not seen in anybody else's build of Cooler.
Most people run into two of. I think it's important to have because if you don't see your Golden Frieza, and I've seen people complain about not seeing their Golden Frieza, and they'll take out the Cooler or say, yeah, I don't think it's important, and it's just kind of weird to me. But I think it's really good because it can be an alternate Awaken engine, for you take a life whenever Unison goes to the drop area, and it also gets 11k on top of being a top 5 searcher for your Unisons. So I think it has a lot of value. I think people are kind of undervaluing it because honestly, it is a turn 1 play, and they can get counterplay once it goes on further. But I have played turn 2 reliably and gotten the effect off, so it has relevancy, and especially if you can get multiple boarded on, it kind of puts some pressure on. I found, but I like it, and I think it's stay out of 3 of mine.
Now a massive power play that Towa has access to is this Demon God Demigra. He come out of the Miraculous collection, the Gogeta and Broly packs that come out. I think it was around the time of 2019 Nats. But if you don't know what he does, you tap to burst to pick up 1 to 2 life, and then you get to play a Poutine and Gravy from your deck or Warp. Now, this card was fantastic when it come out. When it only had 2 decent targets. There was a 20k Gravy Dark Overrealm that had no effect and was just a 20k beater, and then a Poutine that would search out a 4 or less Demigra, so you would just cycle another 3 drop to your hand. But now that we have many sets of Poutine and Gravy cards, this card just got exponentially better. One of the best targets is this Poutine that Umbral Might, I think might be the name of it. It's a blocker. It does have Dark Overwhelm. You do not get the auto of getting to play a Demon Realm Soldier token because it has to be played from hand. But you still get the Activate Battle of being able to pop a token, draw a card, restander, and gain 10k. So she's a fantastic beat stick while also being a great defensive option. And then the gravy that I played is Ritual at Hand, which he gives your opponent the option of warping a battle card out of their drop area. If they do not, he gains 15k until the end of the next turn. Which I think every single time I've turned that card sideways at somebody, they went, oh, 30k, and they're like, yeah, never mind. Like, almost every single time.
I did that too.
But it's a fantastic play early on because you get to because your opponent's probably not going to have any battle cards in the drop area, so it's just a straight 30k swing no matter what.
It's pretty good in this matchup too, just because I run so many Unisons. So you want to see less battle cards in the drop area.
Mm-hmm. So turn 3 is a pivotal turn for Towa. If you don't get your Unison on turn 3, you're kind of floundering. You really need to see that to start your engine, really. If you don't know what he does, he has an auto that will give a Demon Realm Soldier token a blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. Its first +1 is just playing 2 tokens, which this is what I did this turn. And the other option is popping a token, drawing a card, and then warping one of your opponent's battle cards. So there's really no downside to playing this guy. Like, he's kind of fantastic in almost every black deck, to be completely honest with you. I really, really like this Unison, and other decks that I've been building. Like, I've been kind of experimenting with Vijx a little bit, and I've been playing this dude in it, and he's been doing some pretty decent work. Because at minimum, he puts 10k of combo power on field for +1 marker, and he's a 20k base. So the dude's kind of nutty.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
So here I was trying to do like a little bit of a desperation play because my opening hand was not fantastic. So I threw out Poutine Annihilation of Hand, which has a swap 3 into another Poutine. And I didn't have a target in hand. You saw that I have one in the energy, which would have been nice to be able to play out, but I just didn't have one. I tried the top 3, didn't get it off the top 3, so it's just kind of a wasted energy and felt really, really bad here. Did feel good getting to play out this Deborah, though. The draw 2 was nice.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of hoping you would use the energy for this right here because I didn't want you to have any open energy for something. I wanted to just go ahead and wipe the board. So I'm glad that you paid for the Deborah and made it a little bit easier for me there. Then I go ahead and do the -4 as you always should immediately when you can.
Yeah.
There's that.
Which it was nice because the draw 2 off of Deborah actually gave me the support of the Dark Empire to get out of this Golden Frieza attack. So
that's nice.
Plus, I don't run a negate that I would pay energy for. So tapping out is not that big of a deal in Towa, because usually I have my Poutine blockers, I have my 1 token blocker, I have support of the Dark Empires. I usually have like a big wall of defense just on field, and the amount of combo power that this deck can just spew on the board is enormous.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To talk just a little bit about Dormant as a card against Towa, if you don't understand how Dormant's worded, it says choose opponent's battle cards that add up to an energy cost of 2 or less. The up to is the keyword skill here, because you can target tokens since they cost nothing, they don't have an energy cost. You could choose a mini as your opponent token. So if I had 50 tokens on my field, 1 Dormant would wipe them all out.
That's pretty crazy.
Which is just kind of insane. And a lot of Towa players will kind of get cocky and say that Dormant is not a card you have to worry about. While it's true, it's still a card you have to respect in every matchup, but more so in Towa, just because if you get kind of sloppy, 1 Dormant can just shut down your entire turn.
I can see that for sure. Wasn't even thinking about that because I'd already wiped the board, you know? So I was like, oh, I can have Frieza. But then as I was playing it, I think we had talked about that. I was like, oh yeah, I could do that because I tried to get the 1 token off. and and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah. So if you are interested in playing Towa, my best advice to you is to utilize your tokens before attacking on your turn. And once you have no tokens, swing with your leader first. Because the auto will trigger after Dormant has resolved, and it will not be able to target any of your tokens. And then you get the one token off of Towa. Then you can plus on Mira. Then you can activate the Arrival of the Dark Empire or whatever you want to load your field with tokens. So that's definitely the move. It's a card you have to respect. Don't sleep on Dormant. You should never sleep on Dormant just to begin with, but even more so if you're a Towa player.
I feel like that's just a kind of the general rule of thumb, I guess, in green, because green has such removal and it has the board wipes and stuff. So, like, say if you did the counter, the blocker negate, you play the blocker, I could have just blue impulsed and wiped the field.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, green has some solutions like that to those things. I feel like green is probably a rougher matchup than most for Towa.
Green is just a straight difficult matchup for anything, especially a battle card based deck like Towa, because of Green's KO potential is just absurd, and I like to swing a lot. So when stuff like Dormant is dropped on you that just says straight up you cannot swing, it is a problem, because you can't see my hand, but the cards in my hand are geared towards just straight killing you. And of course, now I'm able to see what you have in your hand. And knowing what you have in your hand now, if Dormant was not a factor, I feel like I could have killed you on the past 2 turns. But because of Dormant, I can't do anything. And I'm not willing to tap myself out and expend resources just to get, like, maybe 1 damage on you a turn.
Yeah, that's something I've learned as a player to be more reserved in those kind of situations.
Mm-hmm. And
right here, it's go ahead.
I said because you dormanted, blew up my 2 tokens, and I played my 1 token off of my auto, and I said play a token, and then you just went all right. You played your meta token, and we were like. Yeah. We're like, wait, which gate did you activate? Did you activate Homicidal Clones? Like, bro, what?
Because my token's right next to my drop area, so I just put it down there, and I heard you say token. I was like, oh yeah, cool, you should play a token. I was like, yeah, I'll play mine. Just completely.
There's your token. Yeah, there's your token. There's your token.
I feel like I'm one of the few people that actually use the actual tokens.
Yeah, it's just easier to throw the clones card down. At least in Towa, I have to play a lot of tokens, so I just have the stack next to me.
I actually forgot that you did a random thing with that stack. When I think I sit beside you guys when you're playing, I was like, why the hell is he putting those cards underneath that stack?
Yeah, well, I want the variety of Mortal Kombat characters. I don't want it to be the same card over and over again.
Have you cycled through that stack once before playing Towa?
I mean, yeah, I think I already have. It just in this game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was referring just in one matchup. How many tokens do you have? Like 10?
9, I believe. And Towa could easily put all of those on board.
One thing I do love about this Unison, even after you've done the -4, it's still a dual attacker. So a 20k dual attacker is still a threat.
Oh, certainly.
And then here, I'm debating on how I want to sequence things, and I have to think really hard here because I have 1 life, and I need to win this turn.
Mm-hmm.
We do the swing lead, and then I'm sitting here thinking, just pondering, like, got Chompa in hand. Do I risk it? But I also went ahead and played the token, drew a card, and then
played the Unison.
Unison, sorry.
Yeah.
And then made him discard a card because I wanted to have one less card in hand maybe to combo with.
Which really isn't
that was-
bad for a leader effect.
Yeah, I figured it was better than just me just drawing one because I was going for the throat here, so I was like, I just want to go ahead and
Jimmy has a
just
fat
give us
hand.
a
Holy
look.
crap!
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the-
Towa can get a hand.
yeah.
Towa can amass a hand, but as soon as I seen the Frieza Unison come down after you pop the Golden Frieza, your 1-drop Unison, I was like, yeah, that's he's probably like just gonna dump hand on a Champa. And I did try to hold on to a Super Kamehameha in hand. Otherwise, I would have discarded that off of the Frieza play. But I just was not thinking that he would go for game at this moment. But I mean, you can see my hand here. I had a Clash of the Masked Warriors and a Super Kamehameha that I would have rather discarded one of those off of the discard one off of the Frieza Unison and just hope that would have got the Super Kamehameha off of the EDK because that was a slip by 5k combo power, which it feels like every time that I lose in Dragon Ball, it's by 5k. And if you watch my profile, you know that's why I run the Bibbidi super combo, which I have not seen once since I built the fucking deck. So maybe next week I'll just run 4 of them shits, and I will never lose by 5k combo power again.
It's also searchable with the poutine, right?
I don't fucking know. I didn't read the card.
Fair enough. Well, that means that thank you all for tuning in. Keep on his buttons down below. And there's a little comment section. People put some down there. We try to read when we can. Fluff, would you lead us out?
Absolutely. Congratulations, Austin, on a win there. Jimmy, it was cool to see Towa. I can't wait to see the deck evolve into what you have it imagined to be. But as always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. Fluff out.